singing his song. All the little birds on Jaybird Street love to hear the robin go tweet, tweet, tweet. Rockin' Robin, tweet, tweet, rockin' Robin, tweet, tweet. Slow rockin' Robin, 'cause we're really gonna rock 'em tonight.
Hello everyone and welcome back to another of the bird collection. This time round it's issue 21. We're slowly but surely trying to move it to issue 1. But as I said, the hunt is quite hard to get these. You can get them without the magazines, but I like reading about them. I love reading books, so we're trying to hunt down the ones with magazines. This is issue number 21 and it is the Gold Crest. So it looks very spectacular, and I'll be showing you the figure coming in a bit. So here we are with the crowned with gold. We've got the flash in the pine, feeding time, hanging cradles, the golden kinglet. That sounds very interesting. And fact file. So as you can see, it's crowned with gold. The Gold Crest just pips the wren to an entry in the Guinness Book of Records as the smallest bird in Britain and Europe. Indeed, it is one of the tiniest birds in the world. That's another book that I like reading, the Guinness Book of Records. Brilliant, brilliant book. So yeah, this is one of the smallest birds in Britain apparently, so yeah. Then we've got Flash in the Pine, which goes into when a minuscule grey-winged shadow with a hint of yellow on its head flits by you. I've often left puzzling whether you have really seen a gold crest or simply imagined it. This is another collection, this is another reason why I took this on. I am with a charity that I donate to called the RSPB, and what they do is every so often you get what's called the Big Garden Bird Watch. So you get a chart which you tick off and you kick it down to see whether you've seen it. I'm on the hunt to see whether I can see any of these birds. Probably not, because some of them are like perhaps in abroad, or perhaps they're not from around this region, but you never know where one might fly by. Then we've got feeding time. Almost all of the Gold Crest's time has to be spent finding food, especially for its large broods during the nesting season, and in the winter when the insects are in short supply. Now, I have actually been told that birds do not have a digestive system, so that's quite interesting. And it just goes into here what they eat. So they eat spruce aphid, sawfly, pine sawfly, and pine weevil. Then we've got this lovely poster again. This has got to be a magazine that has plenty of posters in it. And as you can see, it's got some sort of beetle in its mouth. So it seems to feed on insects most of the time. And wow, look at that. I wish they wouldn't put this part here, because that would just make the ultimate poster if they didn't have this part here in it. And it says, keen-eyed and ever active, this Gold Crest is on the red alert for any insects lurking on the outer branches of a Scots pine. Whether they are hiding on top of a wing or under a pine needle, the nimble Gold Crest is likely to find them. So it's an eagle-eyed view, in other words. Then we go into have the hanging cradles, and you can see here that you've got the male and the female. Again, very different colours. In this case, the female is very brighter than the male. And then it says hanging cradles. It is almost incredible that these two minute birds have the energy to build such an ingenious nest, and we're not only but 2 large broods. So that looks really good. Peas in a pod, not surprisingly, the tiniest bird in Britain lays the smallest British egg. No, really, you don't say. You are the tiniest bird, but you have just told us that it lays the tiniest of egg. I think that's pretty obvious. If it's the tiniest bird, it's gonna lay the tiniest egg, isn't it? That's quite funny. Then we've got the golden kinglet. The Gold Crest's energy and stamina are I love that word, stamina. Are legendary. The tiniest bird's miraculous pilgrimage across the North Sea is awesome and quite humbling. So there we go. And yeah, just a fact file at the back there. So what's coming up in it? Oh, look at that, the coloured dove. Oh, Tony, if you're watching, if you can get me that, I would absolutely love that. The dove is a bird that you can see in the garden literally every day, or most days. If you've got a food stand with like seed in it, they're bound to come over. Don't get these confused with wood pigeon. Coming up on the screen now, you can see the wood pigeon and the dove. They're very two different birds. However, the wood pigeon is very bigger. It's much bigger than the dove. The dove is sort of like the same sort of build, not so big, but it has like this black collar around the edge of it. So they're very two different birds, but some people do get them a bit mixed up. So you've got the wood pigeon on the left and the dove on the right. And then we've got the great tit. Yes, we have had plenty of them. We've even had some nesting. Very, very intelligent bird, very colourful. Absolutely love blue tits. That's the great tit though. Don't get them confused with the blue tit. Again, two very different birds. You've got the great tit and the blue tit, okay? Coming up on the screen now, left is the great tit and then right is the blue tit. So I hope you like that magazine. Let's get to the actual figure itself. So as you can see, this is the bird itself. I absolutely think the first thing that draws my attention to this is this dark green colour along here. This is absolutely gorgeous. It is so bright, it's so bold in colour, it is so gorgeous. That is a green that I've never come across before. It's almost like a forestry green. It's really nice. If anyone knows the actual colour of that, do drop it in the comments below because I am intrigued as to what shade of green that is. We've then got what looks to be some sort of perhaps branch tangled around here, and then you've got like, I think that's a pine. Is it a pine cone? Yeah, it looks like a pine cone. CBC, I'm going to have to look into what that means because I'm not entirely sure what CBC means. Then you've got the bird itself, again, very nicely coloured. You've got a tinge of brown in there, a little tinge of black. This golden crest, I can see where it gets the word golden from because you've got this goldeny colour here. You've got this lovely orange colour there. It's an absolute, and then this just spiky, you know, tall, thin nose there. And then you've got the little eye there that looks like he's scared of a, you know, an owl trying to eat him. But yeah, this is a stunning little bird. Two great issues here. So I hope you like that video. The hunt remains to try and find more of these birds. Take care. Bye-bye.
He rocks in the treetops all the day long, bopping and a bopping and a singing his song. All the little birds on Jaybird Street love to hear the robin go tweet, 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 rockin' robin, tweet, tweet, rockin' robin, tweet, tweet, slow rockin' robin, 'cause we're really gonna rock 'em tonight.